find this is to DIY for. So I was inspired by something that I saw on Pinterest for this week's DIY, but I have been in desperate need of it since I moved into my apartment about a month and a half ago. See, we moved from a different province, so we never actually saw this unit before we moved here. A friend of ours looked at it for us, and we were shocked to realize when we finally got here that none of the rooms had ceiling lighting installed. They all have a light switch that works for one of the outlets on the walls in the room. So we have to have pendant lighting basically everywhere, and I've been avoiding putting up our pendant light because I wanted to put a really nice shade on it. So I'm going to show you today how I put this together. It was quite a frustrating process, mostly because I couldn't find the product that I needed in order to put this piece together. I probably went to about 4 or 5 different dollar stores before I hit the jackpot at the thrift store. So let's get into this week's DIY. Now this is part of a lampshade. I used it in a previous project, so it's not fully together anymore, but essentially this would have had a lampshade to go down below here and a bigger ring on the bottom. When you take it apart, all of this is what was left. And the reason I'm using this is because I need this piece here. So for the light that I have, it's a pendant light. I'm going to put it up here, and then on the other side, I'm going to twist the bulb in, and that's going to hold it in place. So I would like my pendant light to have a larger outer ring at the top. That is why I'm going to be using an embroidery hoop. Now this is the interior of an embroidery hoop, so there's no metal piece on it, and we need to find a way to get this to sit right here. And so my idea for this is to use a couple of wooden dowels that I picked up at the dollar store. So what you're going to do is cut your wooden dowel to size so that it will sit just inside here. And now that's going to sit on the rim of this metal piece. So these are really easy to cut. I used some wire cutters and I just kind of cut them on a slight angle. It's not bad. And this one will wedge into this opposite side. So I'm just going back and I'm going to reinforce this with a little bit of glue. Okay, so once you've allowed those to dry, you'll have your metal piece here, and we're going to glue those together. Okay, so while that other piece is drying, I am just using some clear, transparent, like jewelry line, fishing line would work as well. And I'm going to be tying 4 pieces to this smaller ring, and you'll see why next. Use a little dot of hot glue to keep that in its place where it is. Okay, so this next step isn't very easy to do, but you're going to take all of these strands that you had and tie them to this metal piece here, and do it as evenly as you can so that it hangs below fairly straight. Okay, so I know this looks weird, but you are going to want to hang your piece in order to put on all of your beads. It's going to make it a whole lot easier. And all we're really going to be doing is doing a ton of hot gluing and cutting of our beads. So find a place to hang it and get ready. So what I want to do is have a little bit of overhang. And what I'm also going to do is make sure that all of my bead lengths are the right length. So right now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting all of my bead lengths to be the exact same once I find the length that I like. Okay, so all I've been doing is gluing on each one of these beads, leaving a nice big space here because the smaller ring obviously doesn't have as much surface area, so everything is really tight together. Some of them are overlapped there, but that's all there really is to it. It takes a long time. It's heavily weighted on that one side, so it's a little wonky to work with. So I think the most important thing to remember is that when you're hot gluing these beads on, you do need to hold them in place until they dry, so it really does take a long time. I've been kind of trying to keep my hot glue gun not at max heat because it takes a whole lot longer for the glue to dry. So just to finish this off, I had a few extra beads, so I just glued them on the inside above that ring that I was gluing everything else to, and kind of glued them unevenly just because I thought it looked kind of nice. With how that turned out. I really do think it has quite an elegant look to it. Let me know what you think about this chandelier pendant though. You can leave it in the comments down below or give the video a like if you enjoyed this DIY. Now I definitely did get very lucky in finding those beads or that gold string of garland at the thrift store. I think total those 2 bags cost me 90 cents because everything was 75% off because it's after the Christmas season. So yes, I did get lucky, but to be honest, I have seen things like that at the thrift store any time of the year. So keep your eyes peeled if you're looking to do this project. The other suggestion I might have for you is to go the Mardi Gras route. The Mardi Gras beads I think are a great option. I was originally going to do that, and you do probably want to spray paint it when you're all done. I was planning on spray painting it completely white to kind of give it a white bead look, or maybe something kind of like pearl strings, but that's an option. You can either get those beads online, they are very cheap, or maybe you'll be better, you'll have more luck at the dollar store than I did. I think unfortunately because of the time of the year I went just after New Year's, they might have been sold out. Either way, I'd love to see your project if you attempt this DIY. Send me some photos. You can get in touch with me on Twitter and on Instagram by following me at Janelle Steeper, and just tag me in any of your DIY photos so I can check them out. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be back next Wednesday with a new video. Cheers.